Okay, we're going to have a little competition here between EspressoRec and CIMA's finest. CIMA, the Chartered Institute of Management Accountants. These are the qualified accountants who probably spend more time on spreadsheets than the other two bodies by a little bit, but it works for everybody. Okay, so what we're going to do is we've got 4 little quiz questions, and if you can beat EspressoRec, you can win a lollipop. Okay, number 1, question 1's a rec. It's a very large rec with 200,000 lines in. Question 2 is a Large VLookup with, again, 200,000 lines in. Question 3 is a cash allocation, where somebody pays you some money, and you have some invoices on the account. You have to work out what invoices add up to that amount. It's a standard question that you get in real life in business. And the 4th question is a delineation question, whereby somebody's give you you have a column of data and you need to delineate it, but there's the problem is there's too many commas in there. Nice, simple, everyday tasks that EspressoRec is just highly optimized to deal with, and it does other things as well. So let's give this a bit of a round. So when you have downloaded this file, you can download it from the EspressoRec website. It'll be, at the moment, it'll be on the top. It's not there yet. We haven't put it up yet. And what you do is, to keep the file small, these two 200,000 line things are empty, so just click that button there to generate them. Takes a few seconds. So on the question, question 1, you're going to reconcile that data against that data to see what's different and missing. And on the VLookup, there's your lookup table here, and this is what you want to be looking up, and you want your values to go into this column here, and you've got 200,000 lines to do. Okay, so let's see what EspressoRec can do with all this. So if you do Control E, then EspressoRec opens up like this, and then what we do is we go to the first question, and you copy down these items, paste the left side of the data, left set of data in this part, and the right set of data in this part, like that, and you click the button. Now you can, there's options here to help sort of do more detailed recs. If, for instance, this QWERTY 3 you typed in as £2 and you realised it was actually £3, you might put another line that says QWERTY 3 and then just put £1, so altogether it adds up to £3. The bank, I'm presuming, say for instance, or the other party with their statement that you're reconciling to, might already show £3. And the initial settings for the rec, it's disappeared off the screen now, it's busy thinking. The initial settings for the reconciliation EspressoRec is a 1-to-1 match, but there's a little option button that does the totals, and you can click the totals button and it'll add those two together and do a match if you so choose that button. It's got other features, so for instance it will look inside a reference, so if your bank statement has check numbers and perhaps one of your clients has the check number and then a description, then it can find, instead of going for an equals match, you can go for a equals match, a less than or equal to, and it'll look inside. You should be able to see that in a moment or two. If it ever comes back again on the screen, which it should do in a few seconds. This is becoming quite a boring video looking at this screen, so let's have a look at the website for a few seconds. It's got a free trial download, but again, with these, it's an exe file that has an installer in this on the trial download. So if you don't have rights to the program, then admin rights in the office, say, then it'll be a bit difficult. And if that's the case, then you go to the FAQ page and you say, well, if you want a corporate version of EspressoRec, then you click here and you download this form and send it to sales@espressorec.co.uk, and you'll get that. Okay, so it's done the answer in, I don't know, say about 60 seconds. If you look at the what did reconcile, we got 199,000 odd items that did reconcile, and they gives you a rec number here, so each individual item that was reconciled has an audit trail against it. And these are the items that didn't reconcile, and there's about 200 of them, and so that's done in a few seconds for you. So about 60 seconds for that one. So if we go to the top sheet, I've got 60 seconds now to do a 200,000 row reconciliation. Experience says that might take an hour, which is 3,600 seconds, or it might take, I'll put an hour in, it might take 2 hours, but you won't be looking at taking 65 seconds or 70 seconds. You won't be taking a little bit longer than EspressoRec. You'll be orders of magnitude longer than EspressoRec as a general rule, even for very, very good and very highly capable and qualified and trained accountants. Let's have a look at a large VLookup now. Question 2. For normal VLookups of a reasonable size, a few thousand lines, you just do a VLookup formula. For very, very large VLookups at 200,000 lines, it takes a bit of a while. EspressoRec has got a feature for that. That's where you put your lookup table. Shouldn't have copied in the titles up. Never mind. And this is what we want to be looking up, which you plonk in there, and by clicking this button, or if you want a case-sensitive rec, i.e., it'll look at there's a capital Y in there or a small y in there, and say that's not the same match. It'll match them only if the capitals are exactly the same as well. The hash NA is when you don't find one. You can actually just type. You can overwrite that to whatever you wish. I'm going to overwrite it to not found, and click high speed VRec lookup, and it clicks through. In this particular feature, EspressoRec is used in Marks and Spencer's in the inventory department. The whole team have it down there, and this is one of the main features of EspressoRec that they use is the high-speed VLookup. Their recs used to take 2 hours ago, and now it takes 17 seconds. As is, this is 200,000 lines of VLookup done in a matter of seconds. I'll be generous and say that's about 30 seconds. Again, a 2 hour lookup, that'd be 7,000. That'd be 2 hours. Now we're going to have a quick look at the cash allocation. I can't remember I have 24 invoices in this case. The permutations of I don't keep these numbers in my head. The permutations of 24 is about more than 10 to the 13. That's 10 with 13 zeros at the end. Permutations. EspressoRec, however, if you take that, go across to the allocation assistant and paste in the amounts here, plonk in the target value here. Now, if somebody sends you a cheque for £123.45, they should tell you what it is, and if they don't, then you phone them up and ask them. But if you're really stuck, you just use EspressoRec, and in a matter of seconds it's found a solution with giving you the invoice numbers then up to the amount. You can find another solution. Different numbers add up to things. You can control how many, whether you want to sort of stop at a certain number or look for the lowest number and up. You can have a little bit of a variance as to whether you want a penny off or a pound off, and you can say whether it's up and down or just up, out or down. So little features like that. So in a matter of seconds, you can spend the whole afternoon on trying to find out this item, and maybe give up. So people will often, I've seen it before in credit control departments, people spend about an hour on that and get it or give up. Ragged delineations. What's happening with this one is if you just take these items here, paste it there for a few seconds, if you do a classic delineation in Excel, nice and easy, just do a comma, do finish, and let's have a look at all this. The problem is because of the extra comma that it has before Chichester Road, it's extended this field once, one extra, and must be an extra column in this one. and there's a comma after the 24 and after the street name, and so at the moment this is just 73 lines long, but it might be 700 lines long, and sorting this out can be an afternoon's work. So what EspressoRec does for you is if you take this and very quickly go to, you don't have to do it quickly, do it slowly, it still gets the job done quickly, plonk it into the espresso delineator. Now if you just click the delineate now button, it assumes the kind of default is that this is a ragged right, i.e. the extra columns are in the far right column. But as you can see here, you have sales and purchases, which should be the final column, getting mixed up with parts of the address. And the reason for this is because the ragged field is in the middle. So this button here, if you click it, will help you understand your data a bit more. It sorts out how many columns are each cell, and sorts them out down there and gives you a sample of the different types, so you can kind of analyse and go, actually, in this case, it looks like 5 is the correct answer, 6 has got one extra column, and 7 has the extra column. So you say, I want, in this cell, I want 5. The commas are a default, you can change it if you wish. And if you count across, 23 is the first column, blue the second column, and this third column is the column that's got too many commas in. So 3 is the one that's got the flex thing in. You delineate now on that. What it will do for you is it will say, okay, for the third column, extend that a bit so you can see a bit clearer. The third column here, you know, if it's got a comma, it puts it in, and so it doesn't chuck the stuff into the other thing. So I've seen people spend quite a long time on that one. Let's give it another hour. It might be less, might be more, depending how it is. But this is generally for good accountants, qualified, experienced, very capable, just doing these very basic tasks that happen day after day. Especially when with Excel with its new huge size, people are getting more and more of this very light data. And EspressoRec will take like 190 seconds in this example, and at £80 an hour charge out rate, or £2 a second, it costs £3.80 with EspressoRec to charge the client, and or that's your write-off time, anything more than that. But if you're doing it sort of with your best efforts manually in Excel, you're looking at something like 18,000 seconds, and it's going to cost your client £360 just to do these few things I've done in a matter of seconds here. And every single time you do that, it's £356. That's a ballpark figure. So this is why EspressoRec is a game changer. It's not just a little bit faster for really seriously everyday Excel issues. It's orders of magnitude faster. Nice and easy to use. Copy paste in, click a button, job done. And so that's EspressoRec at I'll find the website now anymore. So EspressoRec at www.espressorec.co.uk.